Rob Kaiser admitted to making epic failures his first season market farming. But what he learned about crop selection could save you thousands of dollars in months of wasted effort. Today, I'm breaking down the brutal truth about why new farmers fail at crop selection and farmer Curtis Stone's exact formula for testing crops profitably. Let's get into it. Every new farmer falls into this trap. Here's Rob's confession.
Broccolis and the this and the that, the beets and the carrots and all that stuff. I want to grow all that stuff because it's cool, but it doesn't perform. And if you're trying to do things that aren't performing, you're spinning your wheels.
Rob tried everything. Listen to this list of failures.
Crops that require a lot of work and a lot of nutrients or heavy feeders, they just aren't working. I'm realizing that, okay, maybe I can't do Brussels sprouts and cabbages and kale. That sort of worked. I want to grow all that stuff, but it doesn't perform.
Here's the reality check. Rob was fighting an uphill battle from day one. Here's how he describes his land.
I don't have great soil. I'm here in the Midwest. I'm in Ohio. The land that I'm working is degraded farmland. It has been conventionally farmed for decades, and the soil structure is poor. Everything about the soil is poor.
Poor soil plus heavy feeders equals guaranteed failure. Rob kept trying anyway. So what actually worked? After multiple failures, Rob tried microgreens. Here's how that went over at his first market.
I'd like to say that it is a smashing success. The first day I brought them to our local market, no one there had microgreens. It was a total crapshoot. Either this is going to work or not. I sold out in 3 hours. It was fantastic. And I didn't have enough. The next week, I didn't have any available because I'm still trying to figure out how all this works. People came back. They were asking for them. Hey, do you have this? Are you doing broccoli? No, but you know what? Next seed order, I bought some broccoli. We're going to try doing that.
But success wasn't consistent. Here's how it played out the very next week at a different market.
I sold out at our local market, but went up, took a bunch of greens up to the market in Tremont, which is right downtown, a trendy neighborhood. It was a slow market day. I made $20 after hours of cutting greens last night. I didn't make anything.
The difference, he didn't quit. He analyzed why each market performed differently and kept testing. Curtis Stone has grown over 90 different types of vegetables in 6 years of farming. Here's his exact testing formula when a crop isn't working.
Basically, what I do is, say Rob's got a quarter acre kale and it's not happening, immediately reduce that down to 1,000 square feet and then get that other land into production to some crops that you know you can grow and sell. Keep playing with the kale to see what will work and what doesn't, because I still think that there's discovery that needs to happen in there. I mean, nature is so dynamic and so is the marketplace that there's always going to be a certain level of discovery that's going to happen by just engaging with something. And I think that's important to do.
Curtis had a philosophy about farming that changed how I thought about business.
I go the path of least resistance. I will not fight an uphill battle for too much longer because the older I get, I'm running out of steam. And so I don't have much more energy to put into an uphill battle. And so my whole strategy is to follow the path of least resistance, be like water, go around things, move around things, adapt and bend. Don't push through because it only really hurts you in the end. You just burn out.
Curtis doesn't make emotional decisions about crops. He treats it as pure business analysis.
At the time when I was going through those trial and errors, there's some crops I grew for 2 years until I figured out they weren't worth growing. My strategy to it now, though, is to look at the net return, look at your labor, look what you're putting in, look at other inputs you have, whether it's fertilizer or anything else, pest protection, season extension. What does that crop require to get the outcome that you're looking for? If you crunch the numbers and it seems like, okay, it doesn't really work, then just get rid of the crop. If you go, okay, it's not horrible, it's not great, it could be definitely improved on, my approach is now to scale that crop down considerably and just grow it and play around with it in a small isolated area and see what you can do from there.
Let me add some industry context here. According to Johnny Selected Seed crop planning data, lettuce can generate between $15 and $20 per square foot annually, while Brussels sprouts might only generate $3 to $5 per square foot and take 4 times longer to mature. The math matters. Rob had a breakthrough moment about why he was failing. Listen to this realization.
A lot of us get to the point in our lives where we want to make a change because we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. We're fed up with the status quo. We want to be the change. And that's great. It has to start there. But you can't make the change in your life based on ideology. You have to have a very deliberate approach to what you want to do if you want to make it happen in the time frame that you want to make it happen in. And I need to focus less on what kind of ancient quinoa or whatever kind of heady and free range thing I want to grow, and focus more on how am I going to do it? What are my inputs? What's the end result? Where am I at? How am I going to get there? And where do I want to be?
Curtis has a saying that backs this up.
Keep your ideology in your back pocket. It's important to keep it because it's important to have opinions and values and ethics. When you really analyze what makes a successful business, it is humbling yourself and listening to what your customers want.
Here's Curtis's approach to choosing crops. Notice how different this is to what most farmers do.
When I come to you as an entrepreneur, I'm asking, what's best for you? How can I help you get what you're looking for? What can I do for you that you have a demand for? How can I service your needs? And something that's really helped me with the restaurant industry and getting in with top chefs in my area is coming to them and just saying, what do you need? What's their niche for? What can I grow for you that isn't being supplied by other people? It's just listening. It's just a two-way street. Instead of going, I want to grow this, I want to grow that, I want to grow this because I think people should eat these things. And that's okay to a certain degree, but you can't take that to the bank because if people aren't buying what you're selling, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Rob learned this lesson the hard way.
I'm learning that just because I like something and I think it's a good idea, that doesn't necessarily mean that the market does. And just because I like something and think it's a good idea doesn't mean that I have the ability to produce it and produce it successfully. So there's a balance of finding what you can actually grow and have as a good marketable product and what people want.
Here's your action plan based on what actually works. Step 1, start with 5 crops maximum. Step 2, test each in 1,000 square feet or less. Step 3, track labor hours and input costs religiously. Step 4, if it doesn't show a profit in 2 seasons, cut it from the crop plan. Step 5, double down on what works. Curtis has one more brutal piece of advice for perfectionists.
There's always somebody better than you, so get over it.
Stop trying to grow what you think is cool. Grow what makes money first. Then experiment with 10% of your space. Your bank account and your sanity will thank you. That's all for this episode of the Urban Farmer Rewind. I hope it helped. If you want to listen to the full episode of The Urban Farmer that features an interview with Rob Kaiser, you can do so using the link below. Thanks for watching as always, and until next time, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.